The last batch of abducted victims released by bandits operating in Jibia local government area of Katsina state has finally returned home. 15 people, mostly women and children, including a day-old baby girl delivered in the forest a few hours before their release, arrived at Government House, Katsina state today. They've been in captivity for 44 days and are commending the governor's peace dialogue initiative. Shortly after receiving the victims, the state governor, Aminu Masari, said the next level of the dialogue will be disarmament of the repentant bandits in collaboration with the governors of Zamfara State and Maradi in Niger Republic.
They arrived at the government house in the dead of the night, terrified, hungry, tired, but glad. Their joy is being alive after spending days in the forest of Zamfara in captivity. 30 in number, the figure of those released here took the tally to 57, with many others yet to regain freedom.
Some they have not been detained in Katsina, some are in Kaduna, some in Kano, some probably in Sokoto and Zamfara, but we will continue to talk to the authorities that are holding them.
And it appears that dialogue has reaped fruitful results because another batch of 14 people have now been released, totaling 75 set free by the kidnappers. Recounting the day, or in this case, the night of the capture, this woman says the journey seemed like forever.
I recall that our abductors took us to an unknown forest. The time was about 10 p.m. We trekked for a long time and did not reach the destination until daybreak. The second part of the journey was on motorcycles.
This woman was heavily pregnant when the abductors came knocking. She spent 44 days in the forest, where she was delivered of a girl amidst the trauma. Elated by the release of the victims, the Katsina State Governor, Aminu Masari, is already looking at the next level, which is a joint effort with the governors of Zamfara and Maradi in Niger Republic to commence a rehabilitation process for repentant kidnappers, a conversation that started in September.
We try to sort out those Nigerians, bandits that are in Nigeria, so that they go back to their country, and this meeting will commence on Tuesday. If we are successful in getting rid of the Nigerian bandits in the Nigerian forest, we now start to discuss the issue of rehabilitation and disarmament.
Freedom is indeed priceless, and as these victims of a harrowing ordeal return to their homes, their hope is that the authorities make good their word to put a stop to the terror.
In Taraba State, 3 persons have been kidnapped in Jalingo, the state capital. According to Police Public Relations Officer David Misal in a telephone interview, the victims were abducted from the Magami area of Jalingo in the early hours of Saturday. He also revealed that the police are currently on the trail of the suspected kidnappers and will do everything to ensure that they rescue the victims. The wife of one of the victims narrated that the gunmen arrived while her husband, Ekene Weze, was sleeping and opened fire to scare neighbors. They broke down the door, dispossessed them of their money, and then took him away. She explains that they also took away the landlord, Lanos Ifekweme, and another neighbor to an unknown destination. According to her, there's been no contact from the abductors stating their demands. The police have confirmed the abduction of 2 persons by gunmen in Benin City, Edo State. The victims were abducted this morning around the Ogba Zoological Garden area of Airport Road, where the abductors were said to have led their captors through a nearby river to an unknown destination. The Edo State's Commissioner for Police, Danmala Muhammad, who confirmed the incident, explained that rescue efforts are ongoing and a joint action of police and other security agencies has led to the demolition of kidnappers' camp in the area. We're staying with security issues. The air component of Operation Hadarin Daji has neutralized no fewer than 10 armed bandits at forests near Beningwari and Janko Hill in Kaduna State. As follows an attack on troops to location at Sunke Anka in Sukianka local government area of Zamfara State, as well as the increased migration of bandits towards the Beningwari area of the state. Air Force spokesperson Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, who confirmed the operation, explains that an armed helicopter on flying reconnaissance mission over the Beningwari general area yesterday spotted several bandits at the location and engaged them with guns, killing some of them, while other bandits were similarly attacked, tracked to Janko Hill, and equally neutralized. He adds that the objective of the renewed kinetic operation is to ramp up pressure on the bandits with a view to sustaining the gains of security operations. The former head of state, retired General Abdusalami Abubakar, has frowned on the continuous use of hate speech and careless use of social media by politicians to vent their anger on perceived political enemies. General Abubakar said this trend can lead to total breakdown of law and order if left unchecked. The former head of state and chairman of the National Peace Committee was speaking at a consultative meeting organized by the Kaduna State Peace Commission on how to promote social cohesion in the aftermath of the 2019 general elections in the state.
In the build-up to the election, Kaduna was identified by both local and international observers as a potential flashpoint for violence during the election due to its history of election and ethno-religious conflicts. Though the election was largely peaceful in the state, this meeting, organized by the Kaduna Peace Commission, is to further deepen and educate all stakeholders, including religious leaders, politicians, security agencies, and development partners on the need to sustain peace at all times.
This is also the period when stakeholders should reflect, examine lessons learned from the past elections, and take steps at ensuring better future elections.
While the period between one election and another presents the opportunity to mend broken relationships, the representative of the chairman of the National Peace Committee and former head of state Abdulsalam Abubakar warns winners in the 2019 election and their supporters to be careful in their celebration in order to avoid resentment by losers.
It is important for winners at the recently concluded elections to endeavor to educate their followers and supporters to conduct themselves peacefully in the celebration of the electoral victory in a manner devoid of provocation.
On his part, Governor Nasser El-Rufai, who is represented by his Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, reminds the stakeholders on the need to avoid being used by politicians and other citizens whose ambitions are driven by selfishness instead of promoting social cohesion among the people.
It is a sad fact that in recent times, factors of ethnicity and religion have blended strongly into our national political consciousness, with unfortunate consequences. The process has been largely stripped of objectivity and trapped in the deceptive gap of tribal, religious, and other narrow interests.
Some religious leaders are, however, of the opinion that no peace can be achieved in the face of insecurity and poverty.
We will continue sensitizing our fellowship that we have enjoyed the peace. We should continue enjoying the peace. We should try to maintain peace. Whatever happens, report to the authority. We should not take it into our hands. Even every now and then we do be taken to the imams, the ulamas, the followers, advising them to remain peaceful.
We should resolve not just talking but praying and advising. And that the government also should always listen to people when the people are constructively criticizing. The government should listen to the people because the people are the referees to the government.
Beyond the rhetorics and several speeches made at this meeting, it is hoped that participants will relay the message of peace and social cohesion to their followers.
Former military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has again stressed the need for Nigerians to love one another in order to promote the unity of the country. General Gowon was speaking in Abuja at a Thanksgiving service of St. Matthew's Anglican Church, where he also called on media practitioners, particularly social media, to avoid acts capable of promoting divisiveness. He further cautioned Nigerian youths against undermining the unity of Nigeria through their actions.
I think with this media, social media thing that really sometimes spew out all sort of things that really seem to irritate the various group. I'm sorry, really that is doing a lot of harm. But I hope, my prayer is that Nigerians should continue to think of one another as brothers and sisters, and that is the way we should be able to carry the country forward. Now, I believe in this Nigeria project. I believe in the unity of Nigeria, and I sincerely wish every Nigerian to be the same for the sake of our future generation. I have faith in our younger generation. I have faith in our youth and future generation. I think they can do better. But what I ask the present generation is not to do anything that is going to mar that sense of unity.
The quest by some political stakeholders for a president from the southeast geopolitical zone in 2023 is not the popular wish of citizens of that area. That's the view of the President General of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Joe Modo. He told Channel Television's Ladi Akeredoluale on our current affairs program, Newsnight, that the zone would rather have restructuring leading to development of each of Nigeria's geopolitical zones at its own pace.
What I want for the Southeast, if you ask my personal opinion, and what I think most people in the Southeast want, is that we should be allowed to develop our place at our own pace. Let's go to a restructured Nigeria in which every area, the question of who becomes president of Nigeria will become less controversial. I hate this idea of donating the presidency to a particular section just to assuage their feelings. And rather than bake the cake, we share the cake. Naturally, every Southeasterner would like the president of Nigeria to come from the Southeast. But the recruitment process in Nigeria has to be rejigged. The parties have become anointing stations with no democratic credentials for making the best of decisions. We have to go through a rejig of our entire political process, even though it will be in the benefit of the Southeast to have the next president come from it, and it will assuage their feelings of marginalization. A Southeastern president of Nigeria with a jaundiced constitution still remains ineffective and unsatisfactory to the people of the Southeast.